So today we're going to be making white rice. I'm going to be using, hold on, let me close this because knowing me, as clumsy as I am, it will spill everywhere. We're going to be using Mahatma jasmine rice. You can get this at Walmart. This was $7. It's a 5 pounds, it's 5 pounds of rice. I'm just gonna be making a cup worth, okay? Which means I'm gonna need 2 cups of water. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna turn on your heat for your pot. Currently it's like at a medium high, and I put enough oil just to cover the bottom, just a little bit, because what I'm going to be doing is sauteing some onions. If you don't like onions in your rice, then don't put onions, but that's what I'm going to be using. And so while that heats up, you're gonna cut up your onions. I'm just using 1 small white onion. Trying to find my garlic powder, but I think we used it all. So, because we don't have any fresh garlic right now. I thought we did, but we don't. So usually you would also press in probably like 2 or 3 cloves of fresh garlic. So these are my onions. And I'm gonna put it, this is the amount of oil that I have in here. Y'all see it? That's the amount of oil that I have in there. It's enough to cover the bottom and to saute the onions. I'm just gonna put the onions in here. And as seasoning, just gonna move that around. I think I might actually add a little bit more oil. And as seasoning, I will be using the Goya adobo with the blue top. Just sprinkle that in. And just a little bit of salt. And just stir that. So you want the onions to cook to where they are somewhat translucent, meaning they're kind of clear. Okay. And while that's doing, I'm going to go ahead and measure out my rice. Like I said, I'm only going to do a cup because it's just me today. Alright, so that's my cup. Set that aside. Sometimes my mom, she will add green onions to the onion mixture. We don't have any green onions, otherwise that's what I would be using. So it probably takes like 3 to 5 minutes, if that, for the onions to become translucent, or at least somewhat translucent. Because you don't want them to burn, so when you do this with garlic, because garlic burns very easily, you want to let the onions cook down a little bit, and then add your garlic to it if you're using fresh pressed garlic. Okay, so the onions are nice and translucent. Let me try to bring y'all in. Okay, the sides are starting to burn a little bit. And so now all I'm gonna do is add my 2 cups of water to that. Okay. And you stir that, and what you're gonna do, you're gonna taste the water. I know that sounds nasty, but that's the only way you know how if your rice is going to be, it has enough salt or it has enough seasoning to the way that you want your rice to taste. So you're just going to take it like that, let it cool off a little bit, put some in your hand, taste it. This has no flavoring, so I'm going to put a little bit more Goya in there and a little bit more salt. Okay. And what you're going to do, you're going to turn up the heat a little bit because you want this to come to a boil before you add your rice. I know some people were saying that they didn't, or someone commented one time that we didn't rinse off the rice. Well, it depends on where you get it. So, and if you like mushy rice or non-mushy rice. So if you want mushy rice, you rinse off your rice before you cook it. But if you don't, then if you don't want mushy rice, then you don't rinse it off. And also it depends on where you get it. Because for instance, we used to buy like a 10-pound bag, or I don't know how many pounds, from the farmer's market. And so we would always wash that one because, you know, the bags were sitting on the ground and you don't really know what kind of conditions it was in. So yeah, you're just gonna let that come to a boil, and I'll be back when it comes to a boil. Alright, so now it's come to a boil. I'm just gonna stir that. Okay, so I'm gonna take my rice, and while I'm stirring it, I'm gonna add my rice to that. You don't have to do that, it's just, I just sometimes prefer to do that. And you're just gonna let that stir, or you're just gonna stir that. Turn down your heat a little bit, but make sure it's still boiling. We'll keep it halfway covered, like that. Keep it halfway covered while it boils down a little. Okay? And then I'll be back when, see, so it's boiling a little bit. And so you're just going to keep it covered halfway until it's, and I'll show you what you do, what point you're supposed to stop it. Or not stop it, but reduce the heat and do anything extra. Alright, so once it's gotten down a little bit, you're going to turn it down to where it's really low, and you're going to go ahead and stir that. Okay. Like that. So it's gonna look, let me show you, it's gonna look a little milky. Yeah, see that? It's gonna look a little milky in here, and all you're gonna do, you're gonna turn it down to medium low, or just low, period. Either medium low, but closer to low than it is to medium, if that makes any sense. Okay, and then I do this because my mom does it. I don't know what significance it holds. You can get some aluminum foil, and it's hot. Aluminum foil, put that over, and then put the lid on top of that. Fold it over. And let it sit. Yeah. And then just let it sit and cook for, I don't know, maybe 20-30 minutes, if that. And I'll be back when that's done. Alright, y'all, so it's been about maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and it's ready if you want it to be mushy. But I'm gonna let mine cook for a while. And also, I don't know if this is all Haitians, but I know me and my family, we like let me say that right. We like gratin, which is you just leave the rice for a really long time and the bottom of it will get really hard. So yeah, so I'll probably leave this in for another 15 minutes or so, or whatever, keeping it covered again, and it'll be the way I want it. So yeah, if you want it mushy, you take it out sooner. The rice should be cooked all the way through, or you just let it sit on the heat for probably like for a longer period of time, so it's not mushy and the rice is not sticking to each other. So I will come back when it's all done, or I'll just put pictures or whatever. So I guess stay tuned. So the rice is complete. I think some just fell. This is what it looks like. I'm using my old camera because my new camera, the battery died. So
Mom. Mommy, mommy, mom.
And since I want gratin on the bottom, what I'm gonna do, which is, it's just, all it is the bottom, is the rice is hard, like I said before. So I'm just gonna turn it up a little bit. Turn up the heat just a little. And cover it again. And probably let it sit there for like 5 minutes or something. So then the rice at the bottom gets caked on and really hard on the bottom of the pot. So yeah, that is the end of the tutorial of how to make white rice. I hope this helped you guys. If you have any questions, you know, just comment below, and I will talk to you good people later. Peace. Alright, y'all, so I just wanted to show you the gratin. Is this on focus? Okay. So this is the gratin. You see it at the bottom? It's like kind of caked on the bottom. Yeah. That's what we like to eat. That's like the best part of the rice. Once you're done cooking and you let it sit, I turned it up for you. I hate this camera. Okay. It keeps focusing in and out, so I apologize. But yeah, all we would do is take it and just, and this one actually isn't hard enough, so I need to let it stay a little bit longer. But let me see. That is what it looks like, sort of, kind of. I'll take a picture, but yeah, I'm gonna let that sit for a while because it's not not as hard as I would like it to be. But yeah.